I'm gonna show you guys the blueprint on how you could quit your 9-to-5 job and become a sports bettor. How this is really possible. Like always, guys, if you guys enjoy this, make sure you guys go comment. Also, make sure you guys like and subscribe as well. First thing is going to be, what is the average median income in the US? It is gonna be $61,000. So that's about $5,000 a month, and also breaks down to $166 a day. Now, what is the goal that you're gonna set to be able to quit your 9-to-5 job? So if you're making this amount, at your job, you're making $5,000 a month, obviously you gotta replace that, right? To be able to quit that job. So what is the goal? Let's say, for example, is gonna be 10 units, all right? We're not gonna get crazy with this and say, oh, I wanna hit 1,000 units in a month or whatnot, all right? So your goal is going to be to hit 10 units a month. What is the unit size that we're gonna need to be able to hit $5,000 a month? You can kind of do the math right here. So you got 5,000, obviously is what we want to make per month. Your goal is to hit 10 units. That correlates into a $500 unit size. To get that unit size of 500 bucks, we obviously need a bankroll that's going to be able to support that, right? We can't just go out there with $1,000 and start betting $500 a game. I'm going to give you guys kind of 3 levels here of the bankrolls that you're going to need to support that unit size. So if you're betting at 1%, your unit size, you're able to achieve that $500. So 25K, kind of chopping that in half, and then you'll be betting 2% of that. The last level that really you can do is going to be a $16.6 thousand bankroll. It doesn't put you exactly where you're supposed to be, but that's around what you're going to be looking at. Now that's going to be at 3%. It's like a $498 unit size. Now let's go ahead and move on from that, because that's your first step. Your first step is you got to know what type of money you're dealing with. What I would suggest here is you're going to need to have at least 5 sports books. So that way we can spread this bankroll around. What you need is like the American sports books, the legal ones in the legal states, like your DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM, Caesars, to be able to kind of manipulate lines and do stuff that you need to do. It's still possible with the offshore books. It's just a little bit more difficult and more chance of where they're going to end up banning you. So that's another reason I'm talking about these sports books right here. That's just my advice when it comes to the sports books and how you're going to address them, because that's like your hurdle that you got to get over. Once you start consistently making money and you're like trying to do this for a living, you've got to kind of work your way around the sports books, because that's your lifeline. So if they cut you off, then you're not going to be able to do it anymore. The next thing you're going to be doing now is, how do I find the bets, right? It's going to be, I got everything set up, but how am I going to find those bets? All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about here is limiting the amount of plays that you're going to play. There is a lot of games. Doesn't mean you need to play every single game. And then what you're going to do is, as you're scanning through the slate, you're going to look for games that have little to no movement on the odds. You're looking for games that have drastic movements. Let's say it opened up -150, now they're at like -170. Like, you're looking for stuff like that. That's the type of games that you're looking for. So when you're looking at odds, they kind of tell you something. They tell you like the percentage of a chance of a game winning. A -200 play, let's say for example, has over a 60% chance of winning. But that does not mean that you could just blindly bet -200 plays and think that you're going to make money because you're hitting over 60%. All right, that does not mean that. All -200 plays have over a 60% chance of winning, but not all -200 plays are going to give you a 60% chance of winning. The other things that need to line up in order for this to even be considered to give you a shot is like the trends that these teams are, when they go against each other, things need to line up. Also, you need to know this part too. This is important. The amount of bets and the money. The reasoning behind that is that if you don't know that stuff, then you're at a serious disadvantage for the people that actually do. So another thing that I want to discuss too is going to be people that tell you, oh, you need to have -110 odds. People that tell you you need to have -110 odds, it's not true. You do not need to have -110 odds to be able to win at sports betting. You just don't. A -110 play is truly just a coin flip. There's not a certain percentage that play is actually going to hit. Even a -110 play, which is a total, must be manipulated. There's no more -110. It starts going -130, -140. It starts going up because you have to pay a certain price to make the number what you want to make it. When you're brand new to sports betting and you have no idea about any of this type of stuff, you don't know what to do. You have no idea what to do, so they take advantage of that, and that's how you end up losing all of your money and stuff. What I laid out for you are the basics of what it takes to be able to do this at a high level and be able to quit your job, to replace the median income. If you're making $100,000, $200,000 a year, then obviously it's going to take a lot more to replace that type of income. All right. And if you're making less, then it's easier. If you guys want me to teach you how to do this at a professional level, how to do this at a high level, make sure you guys go and click the description, book a call, so that way, we could see if it works.